welcome back to Soulhugs. Wow, what can I say? I really don't know what to say, to be honest. I'm happy to record today. I think I really am. Today is such a beautiful day. The sun is shining, the sky is blue. It does a lot with your well-being and with your mood, especially in winter. I've spent literally the whole day outside, and I would have spent longer outside, but it kind of was on my plan to record today or this week. And even yesterday I thought, if I don't feel like it, I don't even have to record today or even this week. I think, as you know, I most of the time go with how I feel and how everything feels. I felt like I want to start again or to record again either this week or next week. Yeah, I have stopped with the podcast with, I think, basically the New Year's episode, the self-assumption, the self-assessment. I think it went into the right direction I wanted to go. And then I kind of already had a feeling, but I still held everything together. And then my friend was visiting me. I love our friendship. I love our exchange. We spoke so much about how we were when we were in Australia and what we went through and how we grew and all that. And we reflected a lot about topics that occupy us. And to be fair, I think it was more for me than for her, because she was here and she was really happy and light and funny and all that, and I was oh, I miss this. And yeah, I was just so grateful and happy that she was here. Even after she left, it felt like we grew so much by just being together and reflecting and talking about stuff and topics. Yeah, and we both said that to each other, that we both made us grow in such a way we never expected. In what way we will leave each other. In a good way, obviously. When I recorded the last episodes, I was already thinking about when I will record the next one, because I wasn't sure if I want to record while she's here. And after she left, I talk about my perspective right now, but I was left with a lot of reflection on myself and a lot of questions as well about my current situation. I think I haven't shared until this point. I shared it now. It was a lot about my hyper-independence and my limits and my longing for connections and reliable people and feeling disappointed and alone and all that. And yeah, it is definitely, I think, one of the most important topics for myself. The topic I work on a lot. And I think basically my whole life circles around the topic hyper-independence, because I think when she visited, I got to the point where I felt I can't continue my life living like that, and I don't want to intimidate people. I don't want to come across that I have too high expectations, because I'm not expecting anyone to be emotional intelligent or to give me something valuable. I'm not even asking for that. But I wrote a text about it after she left. I wrote a lot of texts about my whole situation and what we talked about. And she said she misses my old version, the version I was when I was in Australia, young, wild and free. And we still are young, wild and free, but just in a different way, and obviously in a different surrounding. Yeah, somehow wanting to arrive in life, basically. After she left and after the texts came out of me and after I posted them, I had a call with my therapist, because yeah, a lot happened inside of me. I don't think I can say it enough how grateful I am for my therapist and that I have her in my life. And I think we outgrown the therapist dynamic. By now, it really is more I think I'm pretty confident to say that we're friends. Kind of. Not in a unprofessional way, obviously. It's more, every conversation we have feels more exchange of experiences and reflection than having a therapy session. I do have that with friends as well, With my therapist, it's a bit different because she's still a therapist. Like, that's what she did her whole life. And I don't think anyone knows me as good as her, excluding myself, but also just because of her. So, yeah, it was really more like reassurance to what conclusions I came to. So it was really nice and was really like helpful in that way. And yeah, that was mid of January. And then another friend came, not to visit me, but to like arrive in Canada, which was great. And I don't know, I think the feeling started there where I felt a bit not necessarily occupied and not necessarily lost. I just didn't felt the need to record anything because it felt like I'm going through something, or I start going through something. I don't have words for that right now, and I really want to focus on that. And I think I said that one time already. I want to be there for people and I put myself out there for people, but I can't do it if I don't feel that I'm there for myself. And if I'm in such a phase, it just happens that I don't post or like create content or like, yeah, that I don't record, because again, even though I want people to feel less alone, I should not forget myself. And that's basically what happened, or like what started when my other friend came. And then I think that's when I went through this phase, this really intense phase of I feel alone and not heard. And everything came together, like how I felt end of last year with my friend visiting and we talking about that, and with the call with my therapist, and like with me writing about those topics and those texts. And like around end of January, February, that was like, I think that was like the peak. I felt those feelings so intense. I realized the feeling and I felt into the feeling, and I felt the wish to share that, because that's also like a way for me to express it. Even though I feel it and I talk about it and I write about it, if I don't share it online, it feels like that's something I hold myself back from, like releasing everything. Yeah, my Instagram and my content kind of became my therapy as well. So I posted about it, and all in general, like there was not much going on my Instagram, not in the stories, not in posts, because the last thing I was thinking about was content. So I was just processing the phase I was in and like the feelings and emotions, and it felt right to like give myself the space. Like I always give myself the space, but like in terms of not feeling the need of like, oh, I have to like be consistent or something. Because yeah, I'm not posting to break the silence. Like I'm okay with my page being silent if I feel like it. So yeah, that was beginning of February. And then, as that wouldn't be enough for itself, our living situation became, I really don't know how to say that, a bit critical. As I mentioned in a few episodes earlier, when I got here, I was so happy being here and living with those 3 people together. But I was also just like the first point of view. At that time, I didn't really know them at all. Like I knew my friend from Australia. He's a lovely person. Meanwhile, he's back in France. Yeah, and like the 2 other guys, like they were completely new. So along the way, I got to know them a bit better, and I don't have any problems with anyone. I think I'm an easy person to live with, and I'm also easy with people living with me. I really don't know how to like make it short, but like it became really difficult as soon as we learned a bit more about like this flatmate and saw his true being and like the way he is and the way he acts and his personality. That's a personal thing for me, but like I can't stand such people. Honestly, like I tell people if I think they're shit people. I tell people if I think something what they do is wrong or the way they act is wrong. Not wrong, I mean, because who says what's right and wrong, but like morally, if something morally feels wrong, I tell people that. Even if they don't ask for my opinion, I say it, because it would feel wrong if I won't say anything. And I spoke up. I addressed it. Maybe me speaking up started the whole process, but everything that happened after was basically his reaction, and no one has control over his reaction other than himself. And it basically just showed us even more how he is and like how unhealthy it is to live with someone together like him. So we tried to find solutions. We had a few conversations. It was really hard to find a solution because in some perspectives there was none, even though there were. So we reached out to some collectives, that's how they call it here in Quebec in Francais, to help us to like advise what options we have. And yeah, in the end we reached out to the landlord for guidance and support. And it was really, really, really stressful. I think 2.5, 3 weeks, and those weeks were really, really intense, like unbelievable. The tension here was crazy. Everyone felt it. Obviously that wasn't helpful on the situation or like the feeling I was in, what I went through already. And then that was the time when I should have started sorting out my visa. So that's, I think, one big reason why I tried everything I can to keep my energy together and to like be stable, let's say, without having to pretend that I'm okay or I'm good, that I'm actually okay. That's what I did. Yeah, we are here now. That's basically what happened in the last few weeks. In the last few months, actually. As I already posted on Instagram, the whole last few weeks, like, they were really intense, but at the same time it felt like a lot has shifted within me, from feeling loud and alone to feeling grounded and at peace. I'm in the gym as often as I can be. I'm outside as often as I can be, if it's not freezing cold or if there's no weather warning. I started running. Yeah, I prefer to read a book instead of watching something. Like, there was really, like, I not only feel and see it, I can acknowledge it, that my whole self or my whole being or like my whole inner world just went to reset. It really feels like a new start. It feels like that's how my new year starts, and that my new year starts now. Literally, like, when the new year started already, I was like, that's a great way to start the year. But after my friend left and like all the things happened, I was like, what the fuck? What is that for a new year? What is that for a new start? And as we all know, literally new start of the year, 17th of February. And even then I was like, what the hell? What does my life want from me? And I don't know about you, but like from all the predictions or like energy changes or like how planets are aligning and everything with like your star sign and all that, it felt like the last few months of last year I went through everything that was like predicted for like the beginning of next year, and now the beginning of the next year felt like that I'm going through everything that was predicted for end of last year, if that makes sense. That's how I perceive it, basically. But either way, I really feel like now a lot and enough has shifted within that it really feels like that's a new start now. Not everything is unfolded yet, but I think it slowly starts coming together, especially because I know in the next few weeks a lot will happen. I don't know the outcome, especially with me being here, the visa, everything, basically. I feel like a glimpse of feeling settled and knowing the direction of the life I want to live. Even if I would have to leave, I would know how I want my life to look like for now. Doing things that became my anchor, being active, going outside, running, going to the gym. I feel like I've grown so much mentally and emotionally in the last few years that my body really wants to catch up. And that's what I enjoy, pushing my limits. Not in a bad way, because right now I have to pause because I'm unsure about my elbow. When I first thought about this episode, I was thinking about, I don't even know if that will be like the last episode here in this apartment or not. Because honestly, I don't know when I will record next time. I think when it feels right. But right now, basically, what this episode is for is to just inform about what happened and to express in what phase or in what situation I am in right now. Because I really can't define the phase I'm in right now. It really feels like an in-between, and like I'm happy with what I do right now. I'm happy with the life I live. I'm happy with where I am. And yeah, I think that's the most important. Even if it's hard, and even if you feel you don't have energy, speak up for what you think is right. It obviously really depends on like what people you're surrounded by, but the silence will never protect the right people. Our voice is the most powerful tool we have. Don't let anyone take it from you. Speaking up really pays off, and if not in the moment right now, it will sooner or later in the future, for sure. That's a really important message I really want to share. That's about that. And then right now also, like as I said, I don't even know what I should post on Instagram. Normally I was like full of ideas for podcasts, for topics, for reels, for content. Now it is a blank page. I really don't know what to post, and I think that's good. Even though I don't have any idea. I don't know, but I think this phase is necessary. And maybe I'm delusional, or I tell myself that while I'm in such phases, but I feel like that's how a lot of people feel right now. A lot shifts, a lot changes in the last few weeks and the last few months. It felt like, or starting this year, it felt like the whole world is like burning. Literally, shit is burning. And I feel like there's a lot happening inside of us. Maybe, I'm not too sure. Maybe I'm delusional. Maybe I'm too spiritual. But that's just a feeling, even though I don't even know if it's true. So yeah, maybe it's just a phase of finding ourselves in a new way and starting a new chapter. I think that was it for today's episode. To be honest, I don't know when I will record next time, but I will keep you updated, and I hope I will see you soon. Oh, and for everyone who feels like I left it as a cliffhanger about the living situation, I can't really say much because there's not really much to say. Like, we kind of find a solution, but at the same time not yet. It's basically just like working around it and like making it work until we find a solution, until we have a solution. So yeah, it's basically just we keep our distance, and yeah,